Everyone thinks all ancient shipwrecks are found by accident. They're wrong. Sometimes they're hunted. The year was 1998. Not a storm, not a collision, but a deliberate search led divers to the bottom of the Java Sea, near the Indonesian island of Belitung. What they found there would rewrite chapters of maritime history, spark international debate, and expose the shadowy world of treasure hunting. Beneath 50 feet of water, resting on the seabed, lay the remains of an ancient Arab Dhow. Not just any Dhow, but a vessel that had sailed over 1,000 years ago, carrying a cargo so immense, so utterly unique, it defied immediate explanation. This wasn't just a sunken ship, it was a time capsule. The sheer volume of treasure was staggering. More than 60,000 pieces of Chinese ceramics, gold and silver, dating back to the Tang dynasty, roughly 826–850 AD. This single wreck held the largest collection of Tang dynasty artifacts ever discovered outside of China itself. But the story began long before the divers. It started with fishermen, as it so often does. Local Indonesian fishermen, casting their nets, began to snag unusual ceramic pieces. Word spread, drawing the attention of someone with a far grander vision, a German salvage company. Seizing the opportunity, the company, Seabed Explorations, secured a controversial contract with the Indonesian government. Their mission: to locate, excavate, and recover the entire cargo. This wasn't about preservation, it was about profit. The excavation itself was a marvel of underwater archaeology, albeit one driven by commercial motives. Divers worked tirelessly, meticulously cataloging and retrieving piece after piece from the ocean floor. The scale of the operation was unprecedented for a wreck of this age. Among the most spectacular finds were intricately decorated bowls, plates, and ewers, many bearing unique cobalt blue underglaze decoration, a style previously thought to have emerged much later. This was a direct challenge to established art history. Then there was the gold. Gold cups, gold plates, a large octagonal gold box, and an enormous silver flask. These weren't just everyday items, they were imperial treasures, likely destined for wealthy patrons or even the caliphate itself in the Middle East. The Dhow itself, a type of stone-plank vessel, provided critical insights into ancient shipbuilding. Its construction, a blend of Arab and possibly Indian techniques, confirmed the sophistication of maritime trade routes over a millennium ago. But the real mystery lay in the cargo. Why was an Arab Dhow carrying such a vast quantity of Chinese goods, and where was it heading? The prevailing theory suggested a direct trade route, an ancient Silk Road of the sea, connecting China directly to the Middle East, bypassing traditional ports of call. This direct route, if confirmed, meant a much earlier and more extensive interaction between these cultures than previously understood. The Belitung wreck wasn't just treasure, it was undeniable proof of a globalized world, centuries before European exploration. Yet the story of its discovery and recovery is fraught with controversy. Critics argued that the commercial salvage operation prioritized speed and profit over proper archaeological methods. The site, they claimed, was effectively stripped, losing invaluable contextual data. International archaeological bodies condemned the sale of the artifacts. They advocated for the collection to remain intact and be acquired by a public institution, preserved for study and public display, not dispersed among private collectors. Indonesia, for its part, maintained its right to manage its own cultural heritage, even if that meant selling it. The proceeds from the sale were intended to fund other cultural programs and develop local infrastructure, a difficult balance between heritage and economic necessity. In the end, the bulk of the Belitung cargo was acquired by the Singapore government in 2005 for an estimated $30 million. It now forms the centerpiece of the Asian Civilizations Museum's Tang Shipwreck collection, ensuring its preservation and public access. But the debate over commercial salvage versus academic archaeology continues. How do we balance the immense costs and technical challenges of deep-sea recovery with the ethical imperative to preserve historical context and ensure public ownership of shared heritage. The Belitung shipwreck, sometimes called the Tang treasure, remains a potent symbol of this dilemma. A trove of unparalleled historical significance, brought to light through methods that stir unease among those dedicated to the meticulous study of the past. The story of the Arab Dhow and its Chinese cargo is a testament to human ingenuity, ambition, and the enduring allure of distant shores. It speaks of ancient mariners, brave enough to cross vast oceans, connecting continents and cultures. It reminds us that history isn't static, isn't always found in dusty books. Sometimes it lies hidden for centuries, waiting patiently beneath the waves, ready to challenge our assumptions and reveal a world far more interconnected than we ever imagined. And sometimes, the true story isn't just about the treasure, but about the treasure hunters themselves and the complex, often morally ambiguous choices they make when confronted with the ghosts of 1,000 years past. Next, uncover the chilling true story of the ghost ship of the Arctic and its doomed crew.